Thank you. Like, just thank you, Lisa Leslie. Thank you, Lisa Leslie. I cannot stress this enough. Thank you. There is somebody with sense. There is actually somebody with some sense.
As far as WNBA legends go, you can't have a better ally than Lisa. She is one of the most well-known names in women's basketball, the OG of OGs, the one who dunked if you're building a women's basketball Mount Rushmore, and her face is on it. What Lisa Leslie just said about Caitlin Clark was perhaps the freshest breath of fresh air ever recorded in human history, if you can record that kind of thing after a year of old and current WNBA players and the media rage against the Caitlin Clark cash machine. Now let's get into what Caitlin Clark said, because you can use it verbatim to shut down any hater, but her common sense remarks, like Leslie's, put everything in perspective and force the haters to stop and reflect, or at least we hope. Because if we've learned anything, the more Caitlin succeeds, and the more she does for the league, the more they whine. The reason Lisa is speaking up now is because Caitlin is smashing records without even playing on the court, and the haters are once again acting as though she doesn't deserve it. To start, every like on this video equates to one tissue for the haters. They will need them, so dear bit.
It's no secret that the Indiana Fever are by far the most popular team in the WNBA, and I'm so glad that we are finally just, I don't know if admitting it is the right word, but they're finally acting on it. And you guys, I'm happy that they're acting on it, because this news is not only just good for the Indiana Fever and Indiana Fever fans, it is good for the entire WNBA.
It's the worst kept secret in sports. Caitlin Clark is the most well-liked player in WNBA history and possibly the most talked about female athlete in American history. Her economic impact and hype are unprecedented, and her rookie season proved it. Every team in the league saw significant increases in attendance. In 2024, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever drew over 300,000 spectators at home, setting a new WNBA single-season attendance record and a ridiculous 39% increase from the previous year. The league recorded 154 sellouts, more than tripling the 45 in 2023. According to the TV site, over 54 million people watched the WNBA in 2024, an all-time high. As if that wasn't enough, her star power continued into the offseason when the Fever announced a preseason exhibition game in Iowa, Caitlin Clark's former college stomping grounds. Fans snatched up 15,000 tickets in less than an hour, selling out the arena for a preseason game. This should be a moment of celebration for all WNBA players because of the increased visibility and opportunities they're receiving. When you think about it, the WNBA has long been viewed as a charity case, a money loser subsidized by the NBA, but now, thanks to Caitlin, they finally have a chance at a better future where players are paid more and the league thrives. Yes, instead of celebration, we've seen jealousy. Many players try to be tactful about it, but the envy slips through the cracks, with some outright attempt to undermine the league's rise.
The reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Then there are those who even link her celebrity to her race, suggesting that the only reason she's so popular is because she's white.
It's just the structure of the way media plays out race. I'm going to be very honest.
This also applies to the media and fans, and I understand that if you're a player, it might irritate you that everyone, especially reporters, only wants to talk about Caitlin. It must be annoying to be asked about her in every interview, but guess what? The solution isn't to disparage Caitlin or act resentful. Instead, it's to capitalize on the attention she's bringing and give those new fans a reason to learn your name as well. All of this is detrimental to the league's reputation. Remember that almost 19 million people watched Caitlin play in the NCAA championship game? She was a one-woman show at Iowa, scoring 40-point masterpieces in March Madness and leading her team to consecutive national championship games. In other words, we've never seen a player enter the WNBA with this kind of profile. Not even great like Candace Parker or Diana Taurasi had that level of buzz coming in. And guess what? That's exactly what Caitlin did for the WNBA.
Clark, step back, hits a three. Caitlin Clark looking to push the pace. Clark showing off the moves. Clark, all to the rim, just couldn't finish. Clark with the hesitation. Clark gets inside and lays it in.
You've seen the statistics, which are clear and unmistakable. You would have to be living under a rock covered by Mount Everest and wearing noise-canceling headphones during a Metallica concert to be unaware of what's actually happening here. She nearly single-handedly made the league hot. She set attendance and merchandise sales records.
Clark with the board.
Diana Taurasi has 48 triples coming into the game.
Logo!
Not only did Caitlin Clark live up to the hype, but she also broke the WNBA records for a guard's single-season assists and points, dished a league-high 19 assists in a single game, and averaged nearly 20 points per game for the season. She even led Indiana to its first postseason appearance since 2016. So much for those who thought her style might not translate to the pros. She does it with style, pulling up from the logo, dishing no-look passes, and playing with a confident swagger that few can match.
Today, 20 points, 8.4 assists, 6 rebounds.
That's crazy.
But 5.6
Those are hell of a numbers.
Those are hell of a numbers.
But to me, that's not dominating.
Yeah, it's only not dominating because she's a rookie.
The most recent example of this jealousy is the national broadcast schedule. After 6 WNBA teams moved their home games against the Fever to NBA arenas, with some hilariously refusing to acknowledge that it's because of Caitlin Clark, the owner of the Atlanta Dreams even blamed a scheduling conflict at their usual arena, a conflict that was magically resolved by moving to a 16,000-seat NBA venue. The WNBA announced its national broadcast schedule for the upcoming season.
Such star power on those teams, it's really no surprise they're atop the list for the most games available for you to check out on a national scale. The Fever, they lead the league with 41 games here, followed by the Aces 33, the champion Liberty at 32.
The WNBA record for Caitlin Clark and the Fever is 41 national TV games, which is 8 more than Asia Wilson's Aces and 9 more than Breanna Stewart and the defending champion Liberty. This should come as no surprise to anyone. Last season, Caitlin Clark's game against Drew had the highest viewership, up to 3 times that of other teams' games, including one of her playoff games. Attracted 2.5 million people, more than even the WNBA Finals in recent years. This is not a secret. Everyone is aware of it, and the teams and broadcasters have now made it very evident via their behavior. This is a fantastic chance for Caitlin to receive the most attention this year, however. Thanks to some blockbuster free agency acquisitions, the Fever now have an incredible team. They signed veteran players like Dananna Boner, a 6-time All-Star and 2-time WNBA champion, and Natasha Howard, a 3-time champion and former Defensive Player of the Year. They also added Brianna Turner, a shot-blocking defensive specialist, and Sydney Carlson, a savvy 2-time champion who brings leadership off the bench. Perhaps the biggest move was trading for sharpshooter Sophie Cunningham, who is known for her toughness and swagger. In other words, Indiana isn't playing around with 5 All-Stars on the roster. Clark Boner, Howard Kelsey Mitchell, and 2023 Rookie of the Year Aaliyah Boston, as well as multiple championships and a deep bench. The quality of play will improve, and fans will be very invested in this team. However, as soon as the news broke, complaints began to come in from the very players who will benefit from all this increased visibility, including one of the league's top stars, Napheesa Collier, who recently led her team to the WNBA Finals and even won MVP in her own unpermitted Caitlin Clark receiving 41 TV games.
I think it's 2 things. I mean, obviously people want to watch Caitlin play, and so you have to put the people on TV that people want to see. But at the same time, like, there's stars all over the league, and you want good basketball as well. Obviously, Indiana, especially like with their free agents, they're gonna be a great team. But to not have the defending champs on TV more, I think it's kind of great.
Before we return to Lisa Leslie, who deals with this much more calmly, let me say that everyone should be aware that superstars are essential to the growth of a league. She attempted to sign Caitlin for $1 million to play for Unrivaled because she knew Caitlin was essential to its success. However, Caitlin rejected the offer like a Mutombo, and Unrivaled had only mediocre viewership. Yes, it had some buzz at first, but it occasionally struggled to reach 100,000 viewers, alright, but nothing to write home about. Certainly nothing close to the Caitlin craze and all that talent and star power Collier keeps saying needs to be featured the great players across the league. She literally had the majority of them playing in unparalleled fashion. But guess what? It still wasn't enough to move the needle without Caitlyn. The same is true of the WNBA itself. The league had these same stars in 2021, 2022, and 2023, and ratings grew slowly until Caitlyn Clark arrived in 2024, at which they soared.
But for the entire WNBA. So I have the broadcast schedule here. We have ABC, NBA TV, Prime Video, CBS, ESPN, 1, 2, 3.
The WNBA has been losing money for years, but that is about to change. The players are about to head to the negotiating table for a new CBA in hopes of getting more money. They have already indicated that they could go on strike if they don't get what they want. If anything, they should realize that with this enormous new spotlight on them, now is the time to step up and show their support for what they call fair pay. Currently, many WNBA players make less than your local Costco assistant manager, which seems absurd for a professional athlete. What they can do is put on an incredible show, showcase their abilities, make this season the best in WNBA history, win new fans, keep them coming back, and make them want more. That's how you get those bigger paychecks, not by complaining about fairness, but by making the pie bigger. However, just as some people want higher pay without yet generating the revenue, they want more national TV games without having the same popularity as Caitlyn, which seems to be a trend. Alright, let's move on to Lisa Leslie before I blow up. USA had an interview with Lisa. Recently, when questioned about with her expanded TV schedule, Caitlyn Clark gave an A++ response that anyone who genuinely questions her should pause, rewind, learn, and repeat.
I think it's all about money, marketing, and we cannot deny what Caitlyn Clark has done for the women's game. I'm not going to act like it's something that we don't see. She's had a huge effect called the Caitlyn Clark effect. Yes, have we ever had teams have to get into larger arenas to play against a team? No, we have not. So if we have more eyeballs on the game and Caitlyn Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television games?
Obviously, like that is so true. Every word of that statement is a fact.
Hang it in the loo. It's a masterpiece. I mean, she's right. Why in the world would you be upset about more people watching your sport? However, Lisa wasn't done. She also examined the effects of the Caitlyn Clark effect on all players, something I think every player can see with their own eyes, but many won't acknowledge it because they'd rather plug their noses and stomp their feet while Caitlyn brings home the bacon for everyone. I think we have to realize that when a rising tide lifts all boats. What's happening with Caitlyn is going to permanently alter women's basketball when a transcendent superstar enters the league. The entire league is elevated. Consider the NBA magic of the 1980s. Johnson and Larry Bird saved the league by attracting a lot of attention, and Michael Jordan took it worldwide. Do you think other players back then complained about Magic or MJ receiving too much attention? If they did, they looked foolish. Now that those stars were bringing in new fans and more money for everyone, the WNBA is experiencing that moment right now with Caitlyn, who is bringing in more money on her own while earning only about $76,000 from the league she's elevating. Do you think that the WNBA recently signed a $2.2 billion media rights deal just appeared out of thin air? Caitlyn's arrival was credited by Minnesota Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve flat-out for helping the league secure that kind of windfall. The enormous, delicious pie they are about to slice up was cooked by Caitlyn, but some of these people are out here complaining about the chef. Lastly, Lisa touched on something that I believe is at the core of why Caitlyn Clark's fans get so agitated at the haters: the ungratefulness of certain players.
I love that. She's not the player who's like, it's all about her. It's not. She's giving love and homage to those of us that have come before her. She shares the wealth with her teammates, and she doesn't have to do that. So I just don't, again, I don't know what the big deal is about the fact that Caitlyn is getting a lot of love. She deserves that, and she's helped change this game just as a lot of other players have.
This comes from an original player who contributed to the league's development to the point that current players could carry on the tradition. As a star, you should leave the game in a better state than when you entered it. Lisa Cheryl, Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, and everyone else paved the way for Caitlyn. They all set the stage for Caitlyn, and this is what they dreamed of: a new star taking the league to new heights they could never achieve. They should be proud of Caitlyn because she has never tried to take credit for herself. It's clear that she's the straw stirring the drink, but she always gives flowers to current players and the legends who came before her. It required, but she does it because it's the right thing to do. In fact, she's been nothing but gracious amid all the hype. For example, the NBA invited Caitlyn to compete in their All-Star Weekend three-point contest, a huge stage where she would definitely steal the show, but she declined because she wanted to elevate the WNBA stage rather than overshadow her own league's event or be a sideshow for the NBA. How can you not respect that even as her legend grows? She still prioritizes the game over fame, but many of her teammates just don't return the affection, so it doesn't seem to matter what she does for the league.
Literally, they just can't. They just can't not even wrap their head around. They can't just accept, okay, this person is more popular than me, or this person is more popular than the player that we want to push. But even still, that's okay.
In a previous video, I discussed how I believe the hatred will persist. Yes, Lisa Leslie, a powerful voice, has come to Caitlyn's defense. Another legend, Cheryl Miller, has also spoken out on her behalf. NBA stars like LeBron James and Charles Barkley have also noticed the nonsense and called out the petty jealousy. Sophie Cunningham, Caitlyn's new teammate, has been one of her loudest defenders. Even before moving to Indiana, Sophie didn't hesitate to refer to Caitlyn as a once-in-a-lifetime talent.
I mean, you know, she has changed our game in the best possible way in every way.
Additionally, Sydney Carlson, a proud member of the WNBA's Old Guard, acknowledged Caitlyn's influence.
Yeah, no, it was nuts. There's no other way to say it. It was nuts. I think, you know, you're seeing a team that's now, like, affecting the economy in the city. You got people coming from out of town, out of state, out of the country, maybe even to see games. And so that's special.
Yes, there are voices of reason out there, but it's obvious that we still have a long way to go. Caitlyn could break every record, win a championship, and even tenfold everyone's paychecks, and some players would still try to take credit or undermine her. As I've said before, until another player, like Phenom Watkins of USC or Paige Beckers of UConn, enters the league and establishes their own orbit of popularity, even if it's not at the top. Lisa understands, Cheryl Miller understands that Caitlyn's colleagues who choose to join the Fever in order to play with her, they understand. But this dynamic won't end until more players speak up to silence the hatred. Hopefully, more voices will be raised. The facts will prevail over the emotions. WNBA players can help one another put on a fantastic performance for new fans and win them over as lifelong supporters. Fans of the WNBA, not just fans of Caitlyn Clark, since the objective is for league fans, not just followers of a single player, to laugh all the way to the bank together, and if the players can enjoy the moment, put on a fantastic display, and welcome all the new players to the league. This will be a truly unforgettable experience season. If you thought last year was crazy, get ready for year 2 of the Caitlyn Clark era. We might see record-breaking attendance, off-the-charts TV ratings, and perhaps even a long playoff run. You won't want to miss a second of it, so run for the fever that breaks the internet. If you're still here, leave a basketball in the comments to say hello, and thank you for watching.